down a dirt road, rebel flag flying, coon dog in the back. Truck bed loaded down with beer and a cold one in my lap. Earnhardt sticker behind my head and my woman by my side. Tailpipes popping, the radio's rocking, country boy can survive. If you got a problem with that, you can kiss my country ass.
Opened in 1960 by Bruton Smith and NASCAR driving legend Curtis Turner, with the running of the longest stock car race in history, the World 600. The Charlotte Motor Speedway closed before it would ultimately become the home track of so many NASCAR teams. Just a year after the first race, the 1.5-mile oval track was in bankruptcy. Done in by a huge infield rock formation, the balloon construction cost far beyond what its founders had forecast. Almost 60 years later, nearly everything is different. More than 94,000 seats ring the racetrack, which was the first speedway to install lights for night racing, the first racetrack to incorporate a condominium apartment complex overlooking the racetrack, the first to build an office complex with the same view, the first racetrack to sell naming rights, and the first to open a year-round club where members can spectate during races and socialize with fellow club members at other times. Everything is very different from 1960, except for one thing. Charlotte Motor Speedway is still owned by the Smith family. These days, Charlotte Motor Speedway is the queen of the SMI empire, with the legendary Humpy Wheeler managing the day-to-day operations and promoting the races with flair and imagination. The track became one of the most successful in the world. Tonight, it's race number 7 of the Davidson Builders Truck Series, and it's next on HBR TV.
There's a whole lot of high-class people out there that's looking down on me. Cause a country club where I belong is a honky-tonk till 3 in the morning. Don't wear no fancy clothes, no ties or three-piece suits.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at the race details for tonight. 125 laps the race distance, 76-degree ambient temperature, 59% humidity, cloudy skies, a 5-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temp nice and cool, 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Drivers with 2 sets of tires over the wall and I believe a 65% fuel load. Practice just about wrapped up here at the Speedway. Let's go down trackside to see where everyone has lined out time-wise. Zach Millett fastest thus far. Caleb Sisk second fast, the 46 of Justin Morrow. Derek Welch and Hunter Parsons the top 5. Millett about half a tenth quicker than the 6, at least for now. We'll see how those times are either backed up or not as we get into qualifying here in just under a couple of minutes. This driver's out here in some race condition style practice. Chris Scone, Zach Millett, Jeff Ottinger. Cole Henriksen, the 101 Toyota, 10th quick so far, real loose through 1 and 2, gathers it up. Clock just about down to zeros here. We'll get the black and red flags to end the session and start qualifying. Alfie Charon in the 9, 9th fast on the board. So who takes to the pit lane first? Start their qualifying session. Big field of trucks here tonight, 30 plus. Hunter Parsons looks to be first to roll. Parsons coming up to speed down the backstretch. Again, 2 laps to get it done, a 10-minute session. Parsons on his first flyer here. Parsons back to the stripe here. Complete lap number 1. 30.794, provisional pole for now. Meanwhile, Jesse Redding goes to the point, 30.591 in the number 21 Chevrolet. See if Redding can pick up the pace here his second time by. Add a little insurance to the lap as Hendrickson goes P1, 30.36. Tucker goes 30.59. Puts him second quick. Alfie Charon, your fast time right now, 30.23 seconds. Charon, his fastest lap of the 2. Just shy of 30.24, and Sperling gets the fence on corner exit. That's going to kill both laps for him, unfortunately. Eric Beadle's first lap at 30.653, 15th quick. Eighth quick, 30.296 for Beetle. Big improvement for the 119. Meanwhile, Zach Millett goes to the point, 30.16 on his second lap. Skylar Harrod in the number 3. He's got the Halloween scheme going this week again. First, 30.754 first lap for Harrod. Derek Welch, first lap invalidated, but lap 2 was a doozy, 30.225. Puts him outside front row for the time being. Chris Goins. First lap, 24th, 30.821. Might just be a throwaway lap for the 41. See if lap 2 yields better results. Top 3 currently, Millett, Welch, Charon. 4th is the 29 of Sperling and Hunter Parsons 5th. Brandon Coleman saying hello in the chat. What's going on, Brandon? Big pickup for Goins, 8th quick, 30.282. PJ Cox coming up to speed down the backstretch. PJ takes the green flag for lap number 1, just past the 5-minute mark. Again, a 10-minute session. Few drivers yet to take to the track. That's Michael Eden, Justin Morrow, Mark Collins, Dave Holmberg, Paul Durkee. Tom Barish started to make a lap, but opted not. First lap for PJ Cox, actually second lap, 30.609. First lap didn't count for one reason or the next. That's going to wrap it up. Looks like just about everyone that wants to take a lap has taken one. With that, we'll step aside here, get a break out of the way. We'll be back with our starting grid after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we await the starting grid for tonight's race. Let's take a look here. We do have a bit of an advertisement, so to speak, that we want to bring up here. It's an upcoming special race that is being put on this coming Friday, the Halloween Brawl. It's basically the VRL versus the NTRL. It'll be broadcasted by AAA Broadcasting this coming Friday. Green flag drop, I think, about 8:10 p.m. in the East, so tune in 8 p.m. in the East, a AAA broadcasting just in case. This way you don't miss a moment of the action. We may even be simulcasting this event here on HBR TV. It remains to be seen. It's up in the air. The league admins have given us permission to do that alongside of AAA, but it's more of a just because we're bored kind of type situation. But it should be a good race. It should be fun. The best of the best out of the VRL and the Numb Thumbs Racing League going head-to-head. Who will it be? Who will be the winner? Will it be Zach Millett or one of the guys from the other guys with the VRL? So tune in for that this coming Friday, 8 p.m. in the East on AAA Broadcasting. So without further ado, qualifying in the books, let's take a look at our starting grid for tonight's race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. On the pole position with a lap time of 30.162 seconds, it's that S4 guy, Zach Millett. Outside front row, it's the league president, Derek Welch, in the one. Missed it by 63 thousandths of a second. Better watch out, Millett. He might right hook you before this one starts. Alfie Charon starts P3. Jesse Sperling going to roll from the 4th spot. Hunter Parsons in the 5. He'll start 5th. Chris Klein in the number 51. He'll start from the 6th spot. Evan Dupre rolls 7th. Chris Goins 8th. Cole Hendrickson will start 9th. Eric Beadle 10th. Caleb Sisk in the 6th. He'll start 11th. Mike Adamson, the number 89 truck. He'll start from the 12th position. 13 starters, Tyler Dittmer in the number 34 with Lizard Works Racing. Russ Kilgore in the 7. He'll start 14th. 15th starter, that's Joe Tucker in the 35. Jacob Sperling starts 16th. Connor Leach will start in the number 71 and 17th. Skylar Harrod in the 3 will start 18th. Scott Milner 19th. Tony Polk 20th. Jeff Ottinger 21st. 22nd, Brandon Coleman. 23rd, Chris Elliott. Jesse Redding will start from the 24th position. PJ Cox out of Lone Star Racing will start 25th. Mike Eden will start 26th. 27th goes to Brian Torsha like a Porsche. 28th goes to Jarrett Woodard. 29th starter Ben McKinnon, number 15. 30th goes to Mark Collins. Justin Lawson, 31st. Dave Holmberg, 32nd. Paul Durkee, 33rd. Tom Barish in the 55 will start 34th. And last but not least, the 46 of Justin Morrow. It's your starting grid here from Charlotte Motor Speedway as the field starts to pull away from the starting grid. It'll be green flag racing the next time by. Again, some more race information. A 65% fuel load, 2 sets of tires available over the wall. So 3 if you count the set they're going to start this race on. They count. Definitely counts. I think the biggest story here tonight is going to be fuel and how they can manage it. Pace car is off the track. We wait for the green flag. Barney's got it in hand into the Geico restart zone. The call is made. The green is in the air, and we're racing from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Slow start for half of the pack, the backside of the field, but the top half of the field has gotten away pretty early and pretty quickly. Top 2 now, Zach Millett and Alfie Charon, as Charon jumps from 3rd to 2nd right off the bat. Hunter Parsons now 3rd from 5th. Chris Goins, big mover on that first lap, up 4 spots in P4. Derek Welch slips to the 5th position. Chris Goins making a look to the inside on Hunter Parsons. So often we see that here, especially in the truck series. You might have an open door on the bottom lane with the truck on the top side Though he is going the longer distance around the track, he can carry that momentum and that extra speed out of the corner and use that to defend. We've seen it here at Charlotte. We've seen it a lot of different intermediate tracks. Even on the bigger short tracks like Iowa Speedway, we do see that kind of come into play. Chris Goins gets it done, though. Slots up in front of the 5 here into the dogleg. Parsons trying to challenge back, had a run out of 4. I don't know if he lifted it all or not. He's still right there, but Goins is going to start to pull away just so slightly, about a truck length, maybe 2 now, back to the 5 of Parsons. Derek Welch now going to apply some pressure on his best friend here, the 5 of Hunter Parsons. Welch looking to the bottom. Parsons able to maintain the 4th spot and now put some distance back to Derek Welch, about a truck, maybe a truck and a half, back to the 1. Meanwhile, we had a change for the race lead. Alfie Sharon has gone around the 315 out of the gate. Oh, a little bit too low in the corner. Alfie gets the left sides on that painted white and blue line in the bottom, and it upsets the balance of the truck. He slides it up the racetrack, loses the run out of turn number 2. Now opens the door for Zach Millett into 3. Millett to the bottom. Going to possibly take this lead away from his team truck here in the 9. He does. Out of turn 4, Millett back to the point. Top 2 going at it. Team trucks at the front of the field, and the caution is on the Speedway here. I don't know if McKinnon is in trouble or we've had other issues. Maybe Michael Eden. There it is, the number 27, the MRN machine, facing the wrong direction mid-corner. Oh. Carries it down the hill and hits the inside wall. Tough break for Mike Eden. So quickly, our first caution, 8 laps in. We got Skunkworks Graphics in the chat, says HBR TV or TV. It's TV, but either way, can you check out Skylar Harad's scheme at some point? Special Halloween scheme. I'd love to see it on the broadcast. We did talk about it earlier. I think it was practice, though. I'll see if we can find him here at some point. It was a very good-looking truck, I must say. And there we have it. Trying to get a close view. There we go. That is a very busy Halloween paint scheme on the 3 of Skylar Harad. Caleb Sisk, also with skunkworksgraphics.com on board. So under our first caution of the evening, is Mike Eden in trouble? Let's go back and take a look at it. A few moments ago. Oh, comes up the racetrack, gets into the 05 of PJ Cox, and then very quickly into the outside safer barrier. I don't think he realized that PJ was where he was, and the 27 just kept coming up. Too late by the time he realized it, and around he went. Skunkworks Graphic. Oh, he's getting a little fresh on me in the stream chat. Hugs and kisses. Love you guys. We're just glad you're here. We'll go with that. So no takers on pit road. You might see some guys outside the top 15 here, maybe dump it down pit lane for fuel just to kind of get off cycle. So far, that's not the case. A few drivers outside the top 20, though. Mike Adamson, Brandon Coleman, Scott Milner, Justin Lawson, Jarrett Woodard, Tom Barish, and others. PJ Cox, I'm not sure if he took tires just based on the time spent in the pits. That could have been just repairs, because remember, that was the truck that the 27 made contact with. So I'm going to assume that's repairs, because if he took tires, that's a mistake way too early in a race to be doing that. But it happens. It's just a simple check mark in your iRacing display to turn those tires on or off. And you see the 15 blinking in and out behind PJ Cox. It's the 15 or the 13? No, it's the 15. Ben McKinnon keeps losing the connection. Hopefully gets that squared before we go back green flag racing, because that can be very challenging for the drivers around him. So, iRacing pace truck lights have been extinguished, I believe. No, we're going to go one more time here. Should get the one to go this time by. Truck hitting pit road. It's Mike Adamson. Adamson gonna top off for fuel here. Just a quick splash and go. Buys him a little insurance here if there's no more yellows. Puts him in a situation where he really doesn't need to save, at least not as much. Or he still has the option to save. He can stretch that fuel cell a little bit longer. It's all going to depend on tire fall off and what that really does as these tires age. So top 5 as we get ready to go back to the green flag. It's going to be Zach Millett, Alfie Charon, Chris Goins, Hunter Parsons, Derek Welch. Further on down the field, Chris Klein, Eric Beadle, Caleb Sisk, Cole Henriksen, and Tyler Dittmer, your top 10. Pace truck makes the hard left down pit lane. Wait for Barney to wave the green.
Green flag.
We're back at it from Charlotte. Back in the stripe after the restart. Millett, your race leader. Alfie Charon runs second. Hunter Parsons not quite done with Chris Goins, but he's got a nose out in front of the 41 here for that third position. Goins battling back on the bottom side. Derek Welch is going to possibly follow the 41 on through. Truck battle now for the second spot as Goins putting the pressure on the 9 of Alfie Charon. It's Hunter Parsons behind, then Derek Welch. 4-truck battle here as Millett watches it all in his rearview mirror. Chris Klein's going to roll up and be a part of this conversation as well. So is the 6 of Caleb Sisk. Eric Beadle rolling up as well in the 8th spot. Battle here within the top 5. The top, well, almost second through 5th, I would say right now. Millett relatively unchallenged. for the time being, but I think the truck's starting to come back in for Alfie Charon. Maybe didn't get the marbles cleaned off those tires under the caution. Starting to come back to life here in that second spot. Still watching a fight here with Hunter Parsons and Derek Welch. Parsons has slipped back to the 5th spot where he started. Was challenging Alfie Charon there early, and Chris Goins. Oh, big time push. Derek Welch into the corner, slips the one up the racetrack from Hunter Parsons. Welch is able to hang on to it, that and the position. Meanwhile, it's opened the door for Chris Klein. Klein looking down low on the 5 of Parsons. Watching the battle with Skylar Harrod and Jacob Sperling. Sperling slipped up the track. There might have been some door-to-door contact for a brief moment. They both get away with it cleanly. Harrod running back in the 12th spot. Sperling just behind in 13, but going topside here, trying to find the faster way around, and that might be in that high lane. Drag race down the backstretch. This again for the 12th position. Jesse Redding trying to apply some pressure here to the 47 of Dupre. Wants to get himself into the top 15. Redding still in the tire tracks of Evan Dupre, unable to make any forward progress on the 47, at least for now. Joe Tucker in the number 35. He's feeling the heat from Dupre. Joe in the Chastity Tucker, number 35. Chastity Tucker Realtor, number 35. Battle for position up front here for the 6th spot. Chris Klein and Caleb Sisk battling it out. Sisk on the outside is trying to defend again with that long way around. It does seem to be working, at least for the moment. Sisk drops it back down in front of the 51, maintains the spot. Meanwhile, up front, Chris Goins in the 3rd spot, looking very racy there in behind Alfie Charon. Maybe a truck, not even a full truck, behind the 9. Big run out of 2, down the backstretch here. Might have something for Alfie down into 3 if he can make the run. Depends on the lane that the 9's going to take. Goins opts for the low side. Charon goes up the middle lane. And caution's on the Speedway once again, unsure why. Mike Adamson, maybe. Russ Kilgore's got some damage. That could be our culprit here. Ooh, off the nose of the 31 into turn 3. Let's back it up and slow her down. All right, quarter speed here down the backstretch. It's not going to give you too much of information here, but the 7 of Kilgore and the 31, Scott Milner, And almost, at least from this perspective, and it's not a great angle, it looks like the 7 was coming up at the same time the 31 was starting to come down, and they kind of met in the middle. Kilgore gets the worst end of the deal. Let's try a different angle here and see how it looks from the blimp. Again, Kilgore in the Miller Genuine Draft Ford on the inside, the 31 of Milner up top, the black and yellow machine. Milner jumps up the racetrack, and I think he was just a little overexcited there. He thought he was going to hit the wall and pulled her down hard left, and then gets into the right rear of Kilgore. Sends him for a ride. Meanwhile, some pit stops already completed here. Hunter Parsons, Cole Henriksen, Evan Dupre stay out on the racetrack. They opt not to pit this time. Again, only 24 laps in out of a 125 lap event. And up and down pit lane, it looks like fuel only for most of these drivers. Justin Lawson's going to restart 4th. It's Lawson all the way down into Tom Barish in the 27th position, fuel only. PJ Cox may have taken tires this time, or it could just be additional repairs. It's going to be an unknown here the rest of the night as far as the 05 is concerned. So one more lap around and we'll get the 1 to go. We're going to take a quick moment here to take a break. Get that out of the way. We'll be back with a restart after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, wrapping up caution number 2 here, lap 26. Hunter Parsons, Cole Henriksen going to lead the field down back to the green flag. Restart coming at lap 27. Put us with 99 to go. Pace truck heads down pit lane. We wait for the green to come out. No real advantage for any of these guys. They did not take tires for the most part. Everyone behind the race leaders. Hunter Parson gets a good jump off to start. Henriksen, not a bad reaction either. Cole Henriksen, that is. Justin Lawson up into the third spot. He's up 28 spots. Back to the stripe, Parsons leads the lap. Henriksen still running second. Lawson, Sharon, Sisk, the top five. Caleb Sisk working the bottom side alongside Zach Millett and Alfie Charon. Sisk with a bit of a run out of turn 4, but also a little bit slower is the 18. Might have been slowing the advance from the 9. Big time wiggle there out of turn number 4 for the 18 of Justin Lawson. As Sisk takes over the position, opens the door for Alfie Charon as well. Lawson now up the racetrack. He's got to find a hole to get back down to the bottom here. Laps in here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Hunter Parsons, your race leader. Henriksen runs second. Caleb Sisk shot out of a cannon up to the third spot and applying a ton of pressure to the 101. Quick move to the right side down the backstretch. The drag race down into turn 3. Henriksen has it for now, but a big run might be coming out of turn 4 from Caleb Sisk. He's going to have the run. He's got some room to do it. Gets alongside the 101 into the dogleg. Still, the fight continues. Sisk alongside the 101 truck down the back straightaway. This now for the second position. Henriksen finally yields, gets in behind the 6, move Caleb up into the second spot. Still with a run, opens the door, does Hunter Parsons. Sisk not in a position to make the move just yet, but down into turn 1 could be a different story. We'll see. Gets alongside. Caleb does with Hunter Parsons down through turns 1 and 2. Once again, though, that outside line, the place if you want momentum. Don't know how long he's going to be able to keep it up, though, as Sisk is alongside. It's back to the throttle. Might have Parsons clear out of 4. He had a little bit of room, but it was going to be tight. Sisk keeps it on the bottom. Just like that, Caleb Sisk to the point out of turn 2. Lap led for the 6 of Caleb Sisk. Hunter Parsons now back to the second spot. Henriksen hanging on to third. Millett up into the 4th spot. 5th still Justin Lawson in the number 18 machine. Alfie Charon running in the 6th spot. In behind them, Connor Leach and Chris Klein battling for position. Tyler Dittmer in the 34, that pink and white machine in behind, working on the battle as well. Chris Klein got a little out of shape mid-corner there, dropped the left sides below that blue line, upset the balance on the truck just a bit. He's got Chris Goins all over the tailgate of the 51 into turn 3. Derek Welch to the outside of both trucks, the 41 and the 51. 29 of Jesse Sperling rolling through as well. Evan Dupre down low in the blue truck. Derek Welch a bit of a wiggle down the straightaway. I don't know if he was just looking left, looking right, or if the truck got squirrely out of forward. He was just gently trying to save it down the straightaway. Either way, continues on. No harm, no foul, no damage, no tire smoke, no crashes. Still watching this battle with Welch and Goins, though. Goins all over the back bumper. Derek really backing up his corner entry. See how much track position Chris Goins is able to gain on the entry to the corner. We'll see if he makes a look to the inside or no, the outside. Oh, Goins took a look to the inside. Derek shuts the door. Jesse Sperling getting a run here to the inside of Chris Goins as well. We're going to keep a close eye on this battle. Goins has been awfully close to that back bumper of Derek Welch numerous times. Again, just trying to time the lift point for Derek Welch. Welch getting off the throttle a little bit sooner than Chris Goins, I think, would like. The benefit there for Welch, though, is he can pick up the throttle a little bit sooner and drive out of the corner. You can see he does start to put a little bit of distance on Goins leaving the corner. At entry, Goins really does close the gap. Still watching this fight. Meanwhile, out front, Caleb Sisk still out in the race lead. Zach Millen up to the second spot, about a second off the back bumper. Leach looking to the inside on the 34 of Tyler Dittmer. Dittmer up the racetrack in that number 34 Toyota. Seemingly both of these trucks starting to close in on the 9 of Alfie Charon. Alfie loses one spot to Dittmer and the other to Connor Leach. Well, Alfie did that again. Get the left side on that blue painted line on the inside of the corner. In some instances, that can be a help if the truck is a little bit tight in the center. It certainly does help the truck rotate, but if you are not intending to use it for that purpose, it'll help it rotate all right, all the way around until you're facing the wrong direction. Alfie's done it a couple of times here, and it's certainly upset the truck. He's gotten away with it each time. It's cost him. It's costing him again here as Derek Welch is to the inside, and I think Chris Goins is going to go with him. And the caution is on the Speedway here. Brandon Coleman in trouble on the back straightaway with a teammate, it looked like. Didn't catch to see who it was. It might have been the 13 truck of Paul Durkee. It looks like it may have been as he's down on the apron. Lap 45, third caution of the race. Ooh, right front damage on the 13 truck. You can see that thing is way towed in. Can't really see it from this angle, but the right front tire on that truck the leading edge of the tire. If you look at it, it's pointed inward as if he's got the steering wheel turned hard left. But as you see, the left front tire is nice and straight. No damage there on the suspension, but the right front, definitely something broken, possibly a tie rod end. He's going to have to come down pit lane and try to get that fixed if he's got any chance of staying in this race. Meanwhile, some pit stops underway. Sisk into the box. He's taking some tires this time. Millett into his pit stall. He is also taking right sides. And that confirms it's going to be 4 tires and fuel for Zach Millett. Derek Welch down and away. Looks like he did not take tires in this instance. Some guys gambling there, taking fuel only on this round of pit stops. So Chris Goins is going to be your new race leader. Some of these drivers in the top 4, actually all 4 top 4 drivers, opting to stay out on the racetrack. Chris Goins, Joe Tucker, Chris Elliott, Jesse Redding. No coincidence that these drivers all race together on the regular, likely communicating with each other their strategies for tonight's race. We'll see if it works out for them. First driver with fresh tires behind them, I think, is going to be Zach Millett. He's going to restart in the 10th spot, so it won't be long for these drivers that either did not pit or went fuel only on their stop. Gonna have to be careful here on the restart too, not to spin the tires. Looks like Jarrett Woodard might be changing his tune here. Is he gonna come down pit lane again? He is. So is Evan Dupre. Meanwhile, let's go back and look what happened here with Brandon Coleman. Out of turn 2. Ooh, Joe Tucker trying to save the truck. He might have got a piece of the outside wall or just got too close and was trying to get away. Gets into the right rear of the 19. It sends him spinning into the wall down the backstretch. See everybody trying to avoid. Oh, his teammate in the 13 is going to get a big chunk of that. Full speed now. So Chris Goins, Joe Tucker going to lead the field back to the green flag here. Likely the next time by. We'll see if the lights go out on the pace truck. Would indicate R1 to go signal. There you have it. Lights are out. So racing the next time by. Again, remind you guys, the top 4 did not pit for fuel or tires. Gonna have to be careful going through the gears and coming up to speed. You don't want to spin the tires in front of the field, but furthermore, some drivers that did pit during this caution taking fuel only, still going to be in a very similar situation, with the exception of Zach Millett. Millett took 4 tires. He's going to restart now in the 9th spot after some drivers still opted to hit pit lane before we go green. So keep an eye on the 315 with new tires. Got the Tucker family in the stream chat saying go Tucker. Again, Tucker going to restart to the outside. Chris Goins. right, pace car is in. Into the restart
Green flag,
zone. Green flag in the
green
air.
flag.
We're back racing. Tucker slips back quite a bit here on the restart. The 34 of Dittmer with a big run here. He's going to take a look to the inside. Chris Elliott, the number 129 machine. Continues to lead over the 34 of Dittmer out of turn number 2. It's Welch. Now it's Elliott and Welch, third and fourth. Zach Millett already pushing the back bumper of Elliott up the racetrack into 3. Going to go 3 wide, up the cut, in between Welch and Elliott. 2-for-1 special here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Zach Millett looking for more at the start-finish line. He's going to jump into the second spot. That's what new tires will do for you, folks. Oh, almost contact with Dittmer. Millett, again, shot out of a cannon on the fresh tires. Didn't expect Goins to be as slow as he was on the older tires. Almost had to take evasive action. Did take evasive action, almost getting into the 34. Now he's going to go topside and go around Chris Goins for the race lead. Out of turn number 4 at the stripe. Lap 52 goes on up. Zach Millett back to the point. Caleb Sisk, he's making his move as well. He took tires also. He's up into the second position as Chris Goins slips back to third, but Alfie Charon might push him back to fourth because I think Alfie had tires as well. Fresh rubber rising to the top. The proverbial cream, that is. So Goins hanging into the 5th position for the time being as fresh tires are king here at Charlotte. Caleb Sisk, awful racy behind Zach Millett, gets a nose to the inside, down into turn number 1 for the race lead. Caleb not willing to wait, wants to be aggressive early, trying to get it done here, goes to the race lead off of turn number 2. Moves Zach Millett back to the second spot. Alfie Charon now third. Fourth, Skylar Harrod in the 3. Top 4 in formation, not a good one, but either way, nice and tight. Out of turn number 4. Oh, Harrod gets the outside wall, big time, pancakes the right side. Left side of the truck still looks awfully clean. See if that impact affects the 3. Off turn number 4, about to put lap 55 on up. Caleb Sisk, still your race leader. HBR teammates, Millett and Charon, second and third. Those guys are racing it out between the two of them here. Sisk has got to be loving that. Well, 55 laps in here. We're going to take an HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us. You won't miss a moment of the action. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, 62 laps in as the field works the backstretch just about halfway, just past halfway as they get back to start-finish here in just a moment. Caleb Sisk still the race leader, but Zach Millett has closed the gap to about 3/10, a little bit less. Back to the start-finish line. 63 laps go up on the board. We'll see if Zach Millett's got anything for the 6 at the front of the field. Top 4 drivers starting to stretch things out from the rest of the field, mainly the top 3, as the 3 of Harad has slipped back just a bit from this top 3 drivers. Sisk out in front. Millett running second, Alfie Charon a distant P3. It's right on board with the 6 of Caleb Sisk. Chris Goins making pit lane. Sisk putting more of a distance back to the 3:15 now. It's 0.6 of a second back to Zach Millett. Another second and a tenth back to the 9 of Alfie Charon. Skylar Harad in 4th. Adamson now 5th. Again, those drivers that took the restart here without pitting have now chosen to come down pit lane recently here within the last handful of laps. Jesse Redding, Joe Tucker, Chris Elliott, Chris Goins. All coming down about lap 60 to 62. Cole Henriksen running in the 25th position. Not on the lead lap at this point, but he is the first truck 1 lap down. It's in the free pass zone, so to speak. If we get a caution here, he'd be able to go back around, get that lap back. In the meantime, though, he's just going to press on. That's all you can really do at this point. Watching this battle here, PJ Cox in the 05. He's actually in the 18th position on the lead lap, but Henriksen, as I said, 25th, 1 lap down. Henriksen made a pit stop at lap 44. Unsure if there was tires involved in that one. It was a 28-second stop, so there could have been some repairs made as well. Henriksen now looking low on the 18. That's Justin Lawson. Now we watch Jacob Sperling, number 88 machine, just ahead of Jesse Redding. And again, Redding 26th versus Sperling being in 20th. His varying pit stop strategies has got everybody kind of all over the place right now. 22 trucks on the lead lap now in the 19 of Brandon Coleman in the free pass position. Coleman involved in a wreck early on, got most of that truck repaired. It actually looks decent. A little bit of right rear damage, but not too terrible. Again, if the caution were to come out, Coleman would be the recipient of the lucky dog. At least for the time being. That could change here at any moment. It's Milner, likely the next on the chopping block. In fact, he is down pit road here, so he's going to go a lap down for sure. Milner is going to go at least right sides. I can only imagine it's going to be 4 tires for the 31. So Milner's down and away. Back out front, though, Caleb Sisk still putting some distance between himself and Zach Millett. Now 1.22 seconds back to the 315. Alfie Charon back 3 full seconds from the race leader. Mike Adamson running 4th. 5th, Skylar Harrod. Eric Beadle having a strong run up in that 6th position. Watch this battle on the racetrack. A few trucks all together here. Some on the lead lap, some not. Justin Lawson in 17th. He is a lead lap truck. Jesse Redding going to the high side here. Redding back in the 24th position as Chris Klein pulls down pit lane. We got Lori Vickers in the stream chat. Says, let's go Sperling brothers. The 88 and the 29, Jacob and Jesse. I'm loving these Tuesday night races. I know it takes a lot of hard work to have these races in such a great channel. Well, Lori, we really do appreciate it. It's kind of a rhythm for me. It does take some work, but I've kind of streamlined things to make it easy on my end. But yes, Derek Welch and his admins put in a ton of work to make this league and all his other series run almost like clockwork. Does a great job. We've been broadcasting races for these guys for a while, as well as AAA broadcasting. We kind of share those responsibilities, so it works out nicely. But thanks for the kind words, Lori, and thanks for being here. And while you're at it, like the stream. Well, nobody likes to do that for some reason, even though it doesn't cost any money. Speaking of Sperlings, here's one down pit lane, the number 29 of Jesse Sperling. Again, these would be scheduled stops for some of these drivers. Again, a few drivers off sequence from the rest of the field. Sperling seemingly one of them, as Jeff Ottinger also pulls down into pit lane from the top 10. Connor Leach does as well. Sperling going to go right sides. I would assume it's going to be a 4-tire change for the Black Rifle Coffee Chevrolet. Indeed, it is. Connor Leach in the 71 into his pit stall. Is this a fuel-only stop for Leach? It looks like it. And it is. Little repairs, a little bit of fuel, back at it. Lap 80 of 125. Race leaders are also in. Zach Millett, Caleb Sisk, both in the pits. Is Caleb taking fuel only here on the 6? It looks like he is doing the same. 12.05 seconds for the 6. Millett down and away at 8.7. Mike Adamson. Oh, the Brian Torsha spinning out of turn 4 into pit lane. Straightens it back out. He's just going to lose a bunch of time here. Not a major impact. I think he just kissed the inside pit wall. Torch is going to take some tires here. This cycle of pit stops is going to put Justin Lawson and PJ Cox 1 and 2. 23 Mark Collins now up in the 3rd spot. Welch 4th in the pits. Millett 4th now as he is cycled back through already, and he's got a couple of seconds on the 6 of Caleb Sisk. See Lawson and Cox now, they're going to come down pit lane as well. Just like that, Zach Millett has cycled back to the race lead through his quicker pit stop. That's really going to be the difference maker here. I just have to wonder if Millett got it full or not. Much shorter pit stop compared to the 6. Millett was an 8.7, Caleb Sisk 12.05. Both drivers not taking tires on that stop. It was fuel only, but much, much faster for Millett. I just have to wonder if he got enough in it. Jacob Sperling about to go a lap down from Zach Millett, but Jacob might have better tires. Looks like his pit stop was a 14.6, so that's going to indicate he did put tires on. Looks like Millett and Sisk are going to wait to their final pit stop to take that last set. As these laps wind down, those drivers that will have an extra set of tires still over the wall, they're going to keep an eye on the fuel consumption here. And I would assume that once they get to the point where they know they can make it to the end, it just becomes a question, do you stay out a little bit longer to make sure that when you top off the tank, you've got enough for a green, white checkered finish or two? Or do you just say, you know what, I'm going to gamble here. As soon as I'm in my window, I'm going to come down, take my last set of tires, and just go hog wild all the way to the finish. We'll see. However, those drivers that do not have tires over the wall, they will likely stretch their fuel all the way until that thing starts to run dry in hopes of maybe catching a caution so they can make that pit stop under yellow instead of green flag conditions. Tell you though, Caleb Sisk reeling in Zach Millett just under 0.6 of a second, but Alfie Charon makes his way around the 6. He's flying. Now that's the difference maker though. Alfie did take tires as he's going to work the high side around Zach Millett. Not even going to be a contest there. Again, the fresh rubber versus old. It's night and day. Let's talk about the last lap for Alfie Charon was a 30.79. Zach Millett, who we just passed for the race lead, ran a 32.04. Caleb Sisk a 32.05. These guys are running almost mirror-like laps. Caleb working to the inside of Milner. Milner also taking tires on his last stop. Caleb kind of getting married back in some lap traffic here. Milner again with the fresh tires, able to outrun the 6 mid-corner, but now he's got to deal with the 20, Tony Polk. Oh, Caleb losing connection for a moment. Mike Adamson, the number 89, starting to work around Polk as well. Adamson running fourth. Hunter Parsons back in the fifth position. Eric Beadle still having a real strong run in P6. Just got to keep this up, bring it on home. Tyler Dittmer back in P7. Chris Klein in that Beaver Direct Toyota Tundra TRD Pro running eighth. Ryan Torsha running in the ninth position, even with that mistake on pit road. That's impressive. You just have to scratch your head and wonder where he'd be if he didn't spin the truck out on entry. Did take tires at lap 80, 10 laps to go, so he certainly got a little bit more pace than some of these guys. Derek Welch back in the 10th spot, all by his lonesome. Got her set on cruise control right now. Big gaggle of trucks here with Joe Tucker, Jesse Redding. You got Sperling, you got Harrod, Justin Lawson, Cole Henriksen, Skylar Harrod. Again, I'm not sure if they're all on the lead lap or not. It doesn't appear that's the case. Lawson back in 16th on the backside of this group. Ooh, a little wiggle out of the 13, I believe it was. Who was it?
Caution.
And caution is out. Big wreck in turn 4. Harrod, Redding, Lawson, and others. Connor Leach, a little bit of it as well. He's just trying to get woed down, just gently bumping and banging into people. Alfie Charon even trying to get woed up as the race leader. Caution was out for a while, but those guys were still wrecking out of turn 4. But 92 laps in here, fourth caution of the evening. I think this is going to be it. This is when you're going to see everybody who's got tires left over the wall. This might be their time. I don't know if they're in their fuel window for certain, but it's going to be close. We'll get a look at that replay here in just a moment. As the field's starting to work to catch up with the pace truck. Pit road might be open this time by, depending on when they catch up with the pace truck. Pits are closed. Pits are closed. Well, the red light's on. Says pits are closed. I don't know if these guys are all going to get dinged here, or if it's just a glitch with the lights. Alfie Charon, Mike Adamson, Millett, Caleb Sisk, Hunter Parsons, a lot of guys coming down here for their final pit stops. Alfie in his pit box. Does he have an extra set? I don't think so. And it looks like no. Zach Millett, he's going to take his last set of tires. 4 tires and fuel for Caleb Sisk as well. He drops the jack and gets down the road. So some drivers staying out, though, knowing they're going to need to make one more pit stop before this is over, just trying to get some of that track position. So let's try and go back and get a replay here. What happened to put us under the yellow flag once again? Ooh, looks like the 19 just gets to the right rear of Jesse Redding. Gets him spun around. Henriksen's going to sneak by on the bottom. Harrod comes in, so does the 18. Now watch this with Connor Leach. Just checking up, just kind of rolling through this thing. Locks it up a little bit here. It looks like the 15 might sideswipe the 71 a little. Redding still sliding up the racetrack. Leach just gives him a little nudge. I don't think that truck's in too bad a shape. I think Leach will be okay here. Take another look at it. I don't know if the 19 just mistimed it. It looked like he had a run and he was going to jump to the outside, but he just drives into the back of the 21. And then Harrod and the 18 of Lawson just drill the 21. Redding basically a pinball out there. Let's see if we can get it from the 19's perspective. We'll back it up here and go on the roof cam. It's probably going to be the best angle to look at it. We'll go full speed. I gotta say, Coleman, granted, he kind of triggered this thing, but he did a good job avoiding all the aftermath. As soon as he got clear, grabbed a gear and got out of there. And honestly, Jesse Redding might have been in a pretty good shape. I thought he had it saved, but then he got run over by 2 trucks. So coming to 96 laps. And we're on the one to go as the wave around trucks have gone around the pace truck. Well, we have an opportunity here. We'll get some of the post-race stuff out of the way now. Got to thank you guys for joining us. Certainly help us out here with the stream itself. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Those likes are the most important part. If you're already watching the stream, I don't need to give you the web address, but it is youtube.com/@HBRTV and the number 1. If you do nothing but watch this race, click that like button. It does help. It really is one of the most important parts to a streamer on YouTube is getting the likes because it gets it in front of fresh eyeballs. Some new people that may or may not have seen this before might be interested in it. It helps us here at the channel and also helps the league. Also check us out on the website, www.hbrtv1.com. There's a link there for the live streams each week. We try to get that updated for each individual race. Please help us out. Give us some traffic there as well. Also, free to peruse. You don't need to pay for anything. Just check it out. We do appreciate that. All right, getting ready to go green flag racing once again. It'll be lap 97 when Barney waves it. Let's give it another go. Maybe our final restart to the finish. Green flag in the air, and we're back racing at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Finish without issue. Derek Welch still leads. Alfie Charon running in the second spot. He made his pit stop, did not take tires. Didn't have any left to take. Jesse Sperling running in the third spot. Mike Adamson battling for that fourth position with Jacob Sperling. Hunter Parsons and Tyler Dittmer in behind. Parsons thinks, might he go through the middle here? Ooh, it would a brazen move if he tried it. Don't know if he needed to or not. Nevertheless, he takes the spot away, and he's going to put the challenge on Adamson. And caution is on the speedway once again. What do we have? What do we have? The 23 of Collins and Chris Klein at a minimum, and we've got others just up ahead. Looks like Chris Elliott, Jeff Ottinger, Caleb Sisk involved as well. Multiple drivers involved. Looks like Chris Klein, Ottinger, Chris Elliott, Tony Polk, Caleb Sisk. Under caution once again here at lap 100. Well, let's get a look at it. That's all we can do. Started in the dog leg. Chris Klein, they were looking like they were 3 wide here. Klein starts to come up as Sisk was right there. It sends a 51 up the track. Joe Tucker gets a huge piece. Caleb goes up the track. You got Henriksen, you got Elliott, you got Ottinger. PJ Cox, maybe a little piece of it as well. Another look at it. Big time impact, really. I think the 6 is going to have some damage here. Joe Tucker's going to have some pretty big damage on all 4 corners of that 35 truck. Sisk is going to be in trouble here. He's got some work to do. The proverbial big one here. You got Russ Kilgore, Evan Dupre involved in it as well. Mark Collins. Jesse Redding almost getting another piece. Jarrett Woodard kind of knifing his way through. There you have it. So now, some more pit stops underway. Derek Welch is in the pits here. Let's see if he had tires, if he gambled here and won. He does have tires. This could really work out nicely for Derek Welch. With that, though, we're going to step aside, get a break out of the way. We'll be right back with a run to the finish after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, round number 7 of the Davidson Builders Truck Series. Getting ready to go back green flag racing here in just a moment. Going to be 22 laps to go at the line. Alfie Charon with the lead over the 89 of Mike Adamson. Hunter Parsons third, Millett fourth, Brian Torsha up in the fifth spot, Eric Beadle sixth, Kilgore, Collins, Leach, and Ottinger your top 10.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Good jump for Alfie Charon. Hunter Parsons timed it perfect, though. Stays to the tailgate of the 9 as they work down into turn 1. Might have had some room to go to the outside. Didn't want to chance it too much. All over the back bumper of Charon through 1 and 2. Maybe some contact. A little bit of a push. Loosens up the 9. Just a kiss. Just to loosen him up the racetrack. Opens the door for the 5 of Parsons. Adamson's going to try and follow through. Maybe not. Zach Millett goes to the bottom of the racetrack. He can't keep pace with the 5 and the 9, at least for the time being. On to turn number 4. Parsons with the lead just by a nose. At the stripe, Parsons is going to lead it, or is he? Too close to call. Was equal at the line. 21 laps to go. Parsons still battling for that top spot. Eric Beadle in trouble out of turn number 2. Don't know if he had a moment or just lost the pace, but he has dropped from the top 5 back to the 14th spot in still trouble. Ottinger makes some contact with the 119. Beadle's acting like he's out of fuel. I don't know what's going on here with the 119.
There will be a caution.
And the caution does come out. We have another issue on the track, and Parsons is around it, start finish, and he just gets drilled. Was sitting broadside right at the start finish line, and no one had lifted. Just destroys the 5 of Hunter Parsons. Got to go back and look to see what happened there. Parsons was the race leader at the time. He's trying to drive it away, but that truck is just done. Well, just when you think you know how it's going to go, something like this happens. Let's try to get a look at it, see what happened here with the 5. Alfie Charon to the outside, had a run. Oh. Tough to say specifically, but from that perspective, it looks like Charon started to turn in and got to the right rear of the 5. And then you see him parked here and just gets nailed. Insult to injury, I guess you could call it. Check it again here from the overhead shot from the blimp. I mean, visually, Alfie definitely got into his right rear. It's just a matter of, was he turning in to make the corner, or was he trying to dump Parsons? It's tough to say, but man, I just got to shake my head about the rest of these guys coming in here. He had time to be completely parked in broadside, and they're still coming in full throttle. On board with Alfie Charon's in-car. Let's see what it looked like from his perspective. They're straight here, and then there's a turn-in. I know it says HBR TV on the hood of that truck, but from my perspective, it doesn't look good. Again, I know he's got to make that left turn to get into the corner, but I'm glad I'm not the admin that's got to worry about this one post-race. That's going to be tough. So with 18 laps to go, Alfie Charon still your race leader. Stays out on the racetrack here. Adamson's going to be second. Millett's going to restart third, and he'll restart behind teammate Alfie Charon. Millett took his tires at lap 93, so keep that in mind that the top 2, their pit stop was also at lap 93, but they were fuel-only pit stops for the 9 and the 89. Brian Torsha running in the 4 spot. His pit stop was also for fuel only. Connor Leach made a stop at lap 100. Just a few laps ago, 7 to be specific. Fuel only. Jesse Sperling made his pit stop also lap 100, and it appears he had a set of tires to use and did so, so that's a positive for the 29 for sure. Russ Kilgore made his pit stop at lap 94. It was a 43-second stop. Now, I know Russ has been involved in some issues here tonight, so maybe some damage repair. I don't know if he's got tires on that thing or not, at least that are new. But there's some drivers in behind here that all have tires as well. Derek Welch, Tyler Dittmer, Jacob Sperling, Tom Barish, Jeff Ottinger, maybe. It was a 25-second stop. There's some guys back here with some tires that could certainly change their finishing positions before this one's over. But with that said, you got guys back there with fresh tires and some guys in front that don't. Closing rate's pretty significant. That breeds cautions as well. Coming to 17. No, we're on 17 laps to go here. We have the green flag coming out the next time by, so a 16-lap shootout as long as we stay green to the finish. What do you guys think in the stream chat? I want to get your opinion here, your unbiased opinion. Again, I'm on the hood of that truck, and I gave you my opinion. What's your opinion on that wreck between the 9 and the 5 of Hunter Parsons? Out of turn 4, and as we saw it on the replay, it looked like both drivers had straightened it out. And just prior to the turn in for the dog leg, that's when the contact happened, triggering that big crash. Who do you put that one on? Are y'all still watching? It's been awful quiet here in the stream chat. Streams chat? What am I talking about? Lori Vickers was the last one to say anything, and that was, well, I want to say, it feels like an hour ago. I mean, it wasn't, but. Help me out, Streamland. JD Blackwell says the 9 turned to 5. That's kind of how it looked to me. So, 16 laps to go. The pace truck down pit lane. Sharon's going to lead them down here over Adamson, Millett, Torcha, Leach, green in the air. Dr. Shakaloo says the 9 turned him as well. Down the back straightaway, Millett with a run. Now the Adamson taking a look to the inside as well. Thinks better of it. Would have been a really aggressive move if he had tried it. Who knows how it would have ended. Slams the door on the 71 of Leach, who had a big run as well. Adamson looks to the inside of Alfie Sharon as Millett takes the race lead here with 15 laps to go. Adamson and Sharon now battling it out for the second spot. Sharon up in the high lane. Adamson going to follow Millett on through. Again, Adamson on older tires comparative to Millett, but he looks strong. We also don't know when he took that last set. It could have been just a handful of laps before his most recent stop, so you wouldn't necessarily know that he took tires. He's got pace right now, though, putting the challenge on to Zach Millett here at the stripe. 14 laps to go. Last lap for Millett was a 30.66. Adamson was 3/100ths faster. I know it's minimal, but yeah, those tires underneath the 89 aren't that bad. And Brian Torcha in the wall. Pounds the outside wall. We stay green. Back out front, Millett still with the lead. A little bit of follow-up here in the stream chat. Skunkworks Graphics says, I'm drinking because my boys got killed. Well, at least you're still watching. I do appreciate that. I've got a cold beverage in my hand as well, and I'm calling the race. Ken Couch says, I'd say it was the 9, but who am I? Well, you're the driver of the 08 truck, Ken. Where are you? Millett maintaining the gap over the 89 of Adamson, at least for the time being. Adamson has certainly shown his speed here this season. He's always been there. He's had moments of greatness, and he's showing it right now. He's able to close right to the tailgate of the 315 in 1 and 2. Millett just drives out of the corner and starts to put the gap on the 89, but here comes Adamson once again. Less than a truck length, dives it down into turn 3. He's right there. I think it's just a matter of how you want to take your lap. How do you want to drive into these corners? Do you want to lift early and drive out, or drive it in deep and get back to the throttle late? A little contact between a couple drivers, Connor Leach and Dittmer. They get through it okay. Meanwhile, Brian Torcha has to take it to pit road after the contact with the wall. Just undrivable, unfortunately. He had a strong run going. And looks like no fast repair for Brian Torcha either. Ten laps to go for Zach Millett. Adamson still running second, a quarter of a second back. Dittmer now into the third position. Derek Welch again, fresh tires for the one as he slides up almost door to door with the 71 of Leach. Down the back straightaway, Dittmer blocks the run from Welch. Welch to the inside of Connor Leach, down into turn number 3. He's got pace and he's running out of laps. Welch running in P5 here, would love to get up on the podium. I know, we can't say that word podium, it's a NASCAR race. I said it. Adamson, Dittmer, Leach, and Welch. Second through fifth. Jesse Sperling in the 6th spot, the number 29 coming into the picture as well. Coming to 8 laps to go. Scott Milner exiting pit lane, his final stop coming late. Adamson making a look to the inside in front of Welch. A little bit of contact, might route 89 up the racetrack. Welch cuts him a break. Would have been a bad deal. Adamson would have gotten up into the 71 and the melee would have been on. Unfortunately, that little bit of courtesy from Derek Welch has cost him a couple of spots as he slips now in behind the 71 and the 89 that he was battling with for position just a moment ago. Back down to the bottom, Welch trying to take advantage here, take the spot back from Adamson. Millett out in front, but look who's coming. It's the 34 of Tyler Dittmer. He made a pit stop at lap 100, and he did take tires as well. Coming to 5 laps to go. I don't know if Millett's going to have enough to hold off the charge from the 34. He's got 7-lap newer tires. Dittmer gets to the outside. That could be a problem for Millett, but no, Millett drives it in deep down to the bottom. Dittmer tucks it back in. We'll see how the corner exit looks for both of these drivers. Millett kind of protecting the bottom a little bit, goes back up the racetrack, kind of blocks the run from Dittmer. 4 laps to go this time by. Dittmer's got pace, he's got the skills, he's got the tires at the stripe side by side. 4 laps to go. Who is going to win this? Battle for the race lead and possibly the win. Millett with a nose out in front, slides up the racetrack a bit, has to lift to stay off the door of Dittmer. Dittmer noses out in front, down the back straightaway. Might have the lead, might have Millett clear into turn 3, still not there. Millett stays alongside, drives it up the racetrack just a bit, lifts again to stay off the door, tucks back in behind. Dittmer takes the race lead and is clear with 3 laps to go. Remember that guy Derek Welch we were talking about? Yeah, he's all over the back bumper of Zach Millett now for the 3rd spot. Wants the 2nd spot. Continuing on here, 2.5 laps to go down the backstretch. Dittmer starting to put some distance on the 2nd and 3rd place machines. Welch goes to the bottom. Might have made some contact with Millett before the corner entry just to say, hey buddy, I'm here. Good exit for Welch. Laps to go from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Dittmer hasn't led a lap all night long and just recently has taken over the top spot. He's worked some tire strategy to get himself around Zach Millett. Not a huge disparity between tires here, but it's paid off for now. Faster is the 34, and the battle now for the second spot's allowing the 34 to extend that gap as they come to the white flag. Final lap here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. One more time around for the 34 of Tyler Dittmer. Meanwhile, the battle continues for second and third. Derek Welch, Zach Millett continue to go at it. Millett way up the racetrack, almost gets the wall. He might have a huge run here out of two, though. No, Welch gets clear. Slide job up in front of the 315, maybe a crossover. Not enough momentum for Zach Millett. He might have to give this up and finish P3, but a big run coming out of turn 4. It's not going to make a difference for the race winner, though. The 34 at Tyler Dittmer into the dog leg across the stripe. He wins at Charlotte. Derek Welch, second spot. Zach Millett comes home in the third position. Jesse Sperling with a top 5 in fourth, and Connor Leach finishes P5. Tyler Dittmer out of Gore, Virginia. First race win of the season. Well, that's a cute little burnout. Just enough to get it done. Maybe he's out of fuel. Who knows? But either way, race win. You can't take it away for a horrible burnout. Just kidding, Tyler. We're going to take a break here, have our top 3 finishers in the broadcast booth after this. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Charlotte Motor Speedway, race number 7 in the books, and we have a new winner. It's Tyler Dittmer out of Gore, Virginia. We'll see if we can pull the driver of the number 34 up into the broadcast booth and get a word with our winner, Tyler Dittmer. It's Steve with HBR TV. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Tyler, congratulations, man. A strong run. Didn't lead a lap all night until it mattered. Used some tire strategy there at the end of the race, pitting at lap 100 for your final set and making it pay all the way to the checkered flag. Tell us about your race, the thought process, the strategies, and making that pass on Zach Millett with just a few laps to go.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't take my first set of tires till about lap 70, and I was worried when, you know, those front four took tires and came out and got ahead of us and all that, but after about 15, 20 laps, I was running pretty similar lap times, wasn't losing ground on them. I was like, all right, I think I have a good long run truck, able to make passes late on that one big run we had. I think it was like 40 laps or something. And then I was worried when I didn't take tires with 90 to go. I was like, you know, Zach took tires. Well, I got to figure out what I'm going to do. And I was like, do I take tires on that caution 5 laps later? I saw Derek, and I was like, I got to cover Derek. So I did, got the tires, and then it was just all about staying away from the wrecks. There was a couple pretty hairy incidents up front, but just kind of running clean and getting through as quickly as possible and making sure. I probably had to keep Derek behind me because he was also on fresh tires, didn't want to let him get by.
Well, certainly a very strong run for the 34 tonight. Again, it doesn't matter how many laps you lead, as long as you get to that last one first. That's really all that matters. So a job well done here tonight. You've shown pace throughout the season, but man, 13th to the race win here tonight. Nice job.
Yeah, thanks. You know, just only third race. I think I've only ran Michigan, Chicagoland, joined late in the season. It's been a lot of fun racing with these guys. Zach's a very, very fast driver, being able to get by him, even if he's only on 5 or 10 lap older tires. Still good racing between him and I, and between Derek and myself up front. And yeah, had a lot of fun. Appreciate it. Huge shout out to Lizardworks Graphics, that 34 machine, Glass Mechanic, another sponsor I bring over. But appreciate all you guys do.
Well, Tyler, again, congratulations. Is there anybody else you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out my wife. She lets me run enough of these leagues during the week and all that, so her being patient with me and all that. And shout out to family supports me through all that. And also huge shout out to Cole Henriksen for getting me involved over here. Really appreciate him bringing me on over here late in the season. Hopefully we can get inside that top 20 in points.
Well, I asked my questions out of order, but you're starting to answer them for me as it is. It's only your third race of the season, but are you planning on running the rest of the season? And what are your thoughts about Bristol Motor Speedway next week and your chances to go 2 in a row?
Yeah, I don't love dirt, really. I feel like if we're going to a road course next week, I could say, hey, 2 in a row is totally possible. But going to a dirt track, not going to say anything great about it. It'll be a fun time. Hopefully it's not a wreck fest. Hopefully we can get inside that top 20. I hope have a chance, you know, get inside top 20 points. I think we got 3 more races left in the regular season. Obviously running significantly less races than a lot of people, but I think we're running pretty strong. That'll get us to that top 20 to make the playoffs.
Keep it consistent, maybe throw another win or 2 in the mix. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, that's the goal. I think there's another decent track or 2. I don't know what the rest of the schedule looks like, but there's another 1.5 miles or a road course on there before the end of the regular season. We have a chance.
Well, Tyler, again, congratulations. An awesome job in the race win here tonight. We wish you the best of luck next week and the rest of the season, man. Thanks for chatting, man. We'll talk to you next week, maybe.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Steve.
Tyler Dittmer, your race winner here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Next, we're going to talk to, well, Numb Thumbs Gaming owner. It's Derek Welch. Our runner-up here tonight will pull DW into the broadcast booth and get a word to the driver of the number 1 NTG machine. Derek, it's Steve at HBR TV. Got a good copy?
I beat Millett.
You beat Millett. You're in the broadcast booth for a post-race interview. What could be better, right?
That's right.
Well, Derek, congratulations. A strong run here late. Bolting on some tires in that last final run. A caution that got mixed in there as well. You had to fight through, though. Wasn't easy, but you got around all those guys in the top 5 and come here with a second-place finish, man. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, we was on basically exactly the same strategy as Dittmer. I pitted at lap 80, I believe, 75 or 80, when I changed my first set of tires, and that's when we just started running all out. And I wasn't banking on another caution. I was just going to short pit and try to just, you know, keep running full full out the rest of the way and hopefully get a top 5 or out of the deal. Those cautions came, and that first late caution came out. I decided not to take tires. I felt like that was going to be another caution because you mix in these new tires, old tires. There's always going to be something going on. So I was kind of hoping it'd be 10 laps later, but 5 laps later it ended up paying off for me, and I followed Dittmer through the field. That was my plan. Said just follow him, make him open up the holes for me, and just follow him through the field, and then fight Millet. And I gave Millet the old bump. I said, "You blocked me these thirds. I'm not turning you, Millet."
We saw it heading into turn 3. Definitely some contact there, at least from our perspective.
Oh yeah, I was warning him. I said, "I'll race you hard, Millet. I love you, brother, but I'm gonna race you."
Well, next week, Derek, we roll to Bristol Motor Speedway. We thought tonight was a little chaotic. What are your thoughts out on the dirt track next week at Bristol?
I'm very comfortable on the dirt. It's not actually next week. We're off next week, but it's going to be the week after. It's Halloween next week. But I feel very comfortable getting the top 5. I don't know about a win, but there's a lot of newer guys here in NTRL, so I don't know how they run on dirt. But I feel very comfortable on dirt. Thanks for that. Drew Blaze over at Lone Star Racing, he taught me a lot on the dirt side of things. And I feel very comfortable. That's why I schedule it. It's probably going to turn into a wreck fest. It usually does, but hopefully not. Hopefully we can stay clear from that. But it is what it is. We're going to have fun and see how many tempers will fly.
Well, before I let you get out of here, Derek, we're going to put up the advertisement here for this Friday's VRL versus NTRL race. While I've got you in the broadcast booth, why don't you go ahead and shout out about it, tell what people to expect, when to tune in, the whole 9 yards. Fill us in, man.
Yeah, we got a VRL. It's a great league, another successful league. Lori, she's the owner of it. Well, she's co-owner of it with her and her husband, and they run a great league. Got a bunch of fast guys over there. Albert Anderson, Michael Adamson, they're actually from VRL. They're going to be racing on their side. But it's basically going to be the top 10. Like first place gets 12 points, second gets 9, so on down 10. So whoever finished the most league finished in the top 10 wins. And we're actually going to have a plaque that's going to be passed on to lead the league. We're going to try to do this each year. So it's going to be kind of like a plaque passed to league owner each year. We're going to try to do each Halloween. Who knows? We may try to do stuff like this with Noble or Lone Star. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a fun opportunity for the leagues and get together and have fun and do something together instead of fussing with each other. I get along with a bunch of leagues, but there's also a bunch of leagues I don't get along with. So.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a fun night. What time can we expect this to kick off here? And it's AAA broadcasting, correct?
Yes, AAA broadcast is going to be broadcasting it. It's going to kick off. They should be started broadcasting by 8:10, 8:15, around that about time. We start practicing about 7 o'clock, so it's normal NTRL times. Friday night. It's going to be an 80 or 90 lap race at Michigan, so it should be fun.
All right, Derek. Well, it should be fun, certainly. I'm going to try and jump into the system here, and I might actually even simulcast that, and I know we talked about it earlier on. I may run it as well. It depends. We'll see.
That's fine. HBR TV's guys will be, I don't know about Alfie, but Zach Miller definitely be out there, and we got a lot of fast guys going to be showing up at this one, so I feel good about our chances.
Certainly going to be a fun one to watch. Derek, again, congratulations on the runner-up finish here tonight at Charlotte. Anybody else you want to shout out to before we let you go?
My team. Mark, Milner, Chris, all them guys, man. Tom Barish, great guys. Mark, especially Mark, helps me run this thing. I couldn't do it without that guy, man. It's been a blessing to run in this league, man. As successful as we've been and how big we've got, it's been a hell of a ride, and I just want to thank everybody that supports our league and races here, and you for broadcast doing a hell of a job broadcasting, you and AAA broadcasting, everybody that's involved, all our sponsors. It wouldn't happen if it wasn't for all y'all.
Well, Derek, thanks for the kind words, man. We certainly look forward to Bristol here in a couple of weeks. Good luck, man. Hope to talk to you again.
Thank you, sir.
Derek Welch, your runner-up here at Charlotte. Next conversation we're going to have is third place Zach Millett, who watched the race win just slip away with just a few laps remaining. Zach, it's Steve with HBR TV. Hang on. We'll get him in here. There we go. Zach Millett, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got me?
There we go. Yeah, I got you, buddy.
We switched spots at the same time. I don't know what's going on here, but either way, a third place finish. I know that is not what you expected to see here, or maybe you did with the situation that you knew was developing behind you, but with just a few laps to go, Dittmer makes the pass for the race lead, and I think even Welch got you there late. Walk us through those closing laps. Was there anything you could have done different, or really just did it come down to the better tires for Welch and Dittmer?
Yeah, it's just all tires here, man. I mean, even just 5-lap newer tires, it's incredible the difference. And I don't know, it was kind of a safety move pitting when we did, taking the tires when we did. And there's a lot of chaos back there, and we just wanted to stay clear of that and come home with like a top five. Top 5 here would have been a good night. And third is, I don't know, it's not a win, but it kind of feels like a win tonight.
Well, next couple of weeks. Next week, we're off for the good old Devil's Night. But 2 weeks from now, we go to Bristol Motor Speedway on the dirt in the trucks. I think I have an idea of how you feel about dirt in the trucks, though you tend to be halfway decent at it. How do you feel about your chances in the next couple of weeks here at Bristol?
Man, anything that I do there, good or bad, is just purely accidental. I think the only thing dirt is good for is growing potatoes. And I hope Beetle hears that.
Tristan Sykes might hear it too, but I'm okay with that as well because I fully agree.
I hope so. But yeah, we're going to have to get the HBR to put a little extra cushion on that right rear for a couple weeks. And we're going to lean on it pretty hard. So hopefully they'll hold up for the entire race.
Just bolt a couple of 4x4s in the right rear. We'll be fine.
Yeah, something.
Well, Zach, again, congratulations. Too bad on not taking the victory here tonight, but a solid top 3 finish. A good points day. I know every good race car driver hates that, but congratulations. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you get going?
I got to thank you, Steve, and HBR TV for the broadcast. HBRshops.com, HBRTV1.com, Numb Thumbs Gaming, the NTRL, DW, all the admins behind it. Everybody keeps us in line. Should be fun tonight. Martin Sports, Trackbar Media, Eric Dodson State Farm, Castle Pax Power, Davidson Builders, and shoot me a follow over on Twitch at That Is For You.
Zach Millett's got a bunch of sponsor stickers all of his monitors, so when he wins races, he can just look up at his screen.
I'm not going to lie, I bought a dry erase board. It's the best thing I ever did.
Zach, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck in the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, buddy.
Zach Millett, your third place finisher here at Charlotte. Let's take a look at our overall race results for tonight. Of course, we talked to our top 3. Tyler Dittmer with his first win of the season, Derek Welch, Zach Millett. Things are shaping up for a great season here, the way this thing is going. I know we're approaching the halfway point already, but some new drivers coming into the fray. Dittmer, like he said, only running 3 races thus far. He's already got a win. Derek Welch coming alive here late with some strategy, finishing second. Of course, Millett, always a fast driver out there as long as he's here every week. That's the biggest part. Your fourth place finisher was Jesse Sperling, a good recovery for the 29. Connor Leach was 5th. Mike Adamson, P6. Jacob Sperling was 7th. Both the Sperlings in the top 10 tonight. Mark Collins was 8th. Russ Kilgore 9th. Alfie Sharon finishes out 10th. We're curious to see how the admins address his issues with Hunter Parsons tonight. Tom Barish was 11th. PJ Cox 12th. Jeff Ottinger was 13th. Jesse Redding finishes in the 14th spot. Caleb Sisk, after a crash, finishes in the 15th spot. Still staying on the lead lap. A good job for him. Chris Elliott in the 16th spot. Cole Hendrickson was 17th. Evan Dupre finishes in the 18th spot. 19th place finisher was Tony Polk. Jarrett Woodard out of Canada was 20th. Brian Torsha was 21st. Eric Beadle 22nd. Don't know what happened with Beadle late. Seemed like he lost power. He was having a great run there within top 5, top 10 most of the night. Brandon Coleman was 23rd. Skylar Harrod 24th in the 3. 25th was Joe Tucker. Scott Milner was 26th. Hunter Parsons, after his crash, was 27th. Chris Klein, 28th. 29th went to Justin Lawson. Benjamin McKinnon was 30th. Chris Goins, 31st. 63 laps down, caught up in a crash. Paul Durkee was 32nd. Michael Eden, 33rd. Dave Holmberg, 34th. Justin Morrow, 35th. Holmberg and Morrow finishing 125 laps down out of this before they even took the green flag. Not sure the plan there, if that was intentional or if they were just here watching this evening, but nonetheless, credited with the final 2 finishing positions here at Charlotte. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in, jumping in the stream chat. A little light tonight, guys. Let's work on that here at Bristol in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, happy Halloween next week, guys. Have fun with the trick-or-treaters coming to your door or taking them out. Whatever you're doing here, just be safe. That's the most important part. But we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks here at HBR TV with Davidson Builders Truck Series at Bristol Motor Speedway. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.